I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, but first I do want to wish you guys all a safe and happy holiday season. During the Sephora VIB sale, I did purchase the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, and the original shade that I got was Snow, which is the lightest shade in the range, and it's actually too light for me. So I was waiting for the other color because I wanted to get this one anyway, but it was sold out on I was checking Beautylish and Sephora, and this shade had been sold out for a while. It recently came back in stock on Sephora, so I went ahead and purchased it, and it's the shade Creme. I've been just mixing these two colors together, and it creates a better shade for me than the Creme shade, which is too dark by itself, and the Snow shade, which is too light by itself. These are the concealers that I have underneath my eyes today, and this has got really, really great coverage, so the high coverage portion of the title does fit. I feel like they blend out really well, too, for how nice they cover. I don't feel like they're super drying either for as high as they cover. Like the Tarte Shape Tape, that covers really well too, but I always feel like that one gets a little drying underneath my eyes. This one feels comfortable, however it is a little bit heavier than something like the Cover FX concealer. Power Play one, I love this concealer. If you guys are looking for a lightweight, great coverage under eye concealer, this has been one of my favorites of the year. Swatch these two colors so you can see what they look like against my skin tone. So that one is the shade Snow, and then the other shade is the shade Creme right here. And then I'll blend them together so you can kind of see what shade it creates for me. And that's kind of the color that I have underneath my eyes. But I mean, look at the coverage of this. It's pretty high coverage. Very nice concealer though. Also from Sephora, I purchased the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. I've got this shade in the original and I think one other limited edition, and this is a powder that I really love to set the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation on. It's just a super finely milled, very like delicate type of powder that just looks really pretty on the skin. This powder comes in various versions, like there's a few limited edition and then there's some in the permanent line that have a bit of a shimmery sparkle to them, but they're not too much to use all over the face unless you have a really oily skin type. Then I would kind of steer clear of those ones. But this one is in the shade Mousseline Pastel #1, which is in the permanent range, but I got this because I've been on this little thing where I think I need to collect all the little limited edition packaging. So this one comes with a limited edition packaging. And then the Mousseline Pastel powder itself is a matte finish. So there's a green, a purple, kind of a blue, and then a pinky tint, and swirled all together. I do feel like it kind of brightens the skin as well because of the color scheme on these. And then you guys, Guerlain came out with a limited edition Meteorites. It's the Meteorites Bernardode. I'm not 100% sure on the collaboration of this, but oh, can you see it right there? This is ridiculously expensive. However, the container is made out of porcelain and it feels extremely luxurious, which it should considering the price tag. Guerlain Meteorites is one of those things that I use every day to finish off the makeup on my skin. I use it as a finishing powder buffed all over the skin. For me, I really feel like it makes all the face makeup kind of one, and it just looks really pretty. I've been using the Guerlain Meteorites forever. So I like to collect them. I like to collect all the limited edition versions. This one here, I saw the price tag and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I read the description and I kind of understand why, because it is in a really pretty porcelain packaging. So this is the box that it comes in. And then here are the Meteorites. Mine's kind of had some spillage of some powder in there because there's a foam piece between the two glass portions. So this is the packaging right here, and this is a glass porcelain. And it does come with like this foam piece in there. I'm probably going to keep the foam piece on there because you know that like feeling of glass like together, that it's almost kind of nail on chalkboardy-ish, but this is I can't do it. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, there's a puff inside, and then here are the Meteorites that come inside. These look very similar to the shade that is in the permanent range called Claire #2. It's the lightest version of the three. Had I looked at the sticker on the bottom, it would have said to Claire. So, and that's what does come in here. There is 0.8 ounces of product in here, or 25 grams, which is the same amount of product that you're getting in the permanent Meteorites. So this is just lovely. I'm probably going to just keep this out because it's so pretty. Where's the Guerlain portion of it? It says Guerlain right there. So pretty, but Very expensive. And I believe those are a Neiman Marcus exclusive. That's the only place that I have seen them, and that's where I purchased them. Also at Neiman's, I've seen that a lot of Le Métier de Beauté beauty products were on sale, including these single eyeshadows. And I've never tried their eyeshadows before, so I thought I would give it a whirl. Because they were like $7 down from, I think it was like 30 or something. So I got 2 shades. I found it very interesting. This shade called Crushed Ice. The outside of the packaging is sticky, like that sticky. I don't know why. The shadow itself looks fine, but this packaging is kind of icky. The other shade that I got is fine. So this one is Chameleon, 0.13 ounces of shadow in there, which is a lot. So I got this shade in Chameleon, and I guess now I kind of see why they're on sale. I don't think that they're that great. I was hoping to use the other shade as a highlighter, but we'll find out right about now. It's kind of a green chameleon color, that one. And the other shade is Crushed Ice, and this is the one with the overly sticky packaging, which I may turn into a face highlighter. This one's a bit better than the chameleon shade. Right there. In the swatch though, you can see it's kind of patchy. I guess I can understand why they're on sale. I'm glad I only bought 2. I'm not impressed. Then on Black Friday, Linda Hallberg was having a sale on her website, and I purchased the very first palette that she came out with. Geez, it must have been, I know it's been over a year ago. And it's kind of a use it however type of palette. You've got blushes, you can use them as eyeshadows, and it's kind of like create your own or do what you want with it type of deal. So I purchased the second one that she made, which is a deeper version of the original, and it's called the Infinity Deep palette. I like that she kind of switched up the packaging on this to have a little bit of color, but her packaging overall is really, it feels really cheap, and her products are quite expensive, so I feel like paying that kind of price, I expect a little bit nicer packaging on these. Now I have used this palette, and the matte shades in here for me, I had a heck of a time trying to blend the edges out of them. It was just kind of, they were hard to blend out for me, so I wasn't that excited about it. I was hoping that this formula would be a little bit better than the original, but I feel like it's kind of on the same level as the original Infinity palette that she came out with, which is this one right here. It's okay. I like these 2 shades on the end for blushes and highlighters, but the mattes, again, they're a little bit much to work with. But I'm going to go ahead and swatch the shades for you guys. Hopefully you can kind of see whether or not this is going to be something that you like. The shimmers are okay, but again, they're a little less than impressive, I feel. I just wish the mattes would have blended out a little bit better. And these palettes are meant to be used, you know, face, lips, eyes, however you see fit. But that is the Infinity Deep palette. Just going to show it next to the Infinity one, which is on top. And then I also purchased the Enchanted Secrets palette. She had originally came out with 2 palettes like this, and then recently she came out with a 3rd. The other one of the originals was sold out, so I wasn't able to get that one, and at the time of the sale she didn't have that 3rd one out. I've been seeing swatches of the 3rd one, and it looks really amazing. I hope that the formula is a little bit better than this one, because again, this is something that I'm kind of disappointed in. So this is the Enchanted Secrets eyeshadow palette, and these are a baked jelly texture. Again, for the price, I do feel like the packaging should be better. This, I believe, was $58, and then I purchased during the sale, so I did get a discount, but still really expensive. They're a baked jelly formula. They have a pretty sheen and iridescence to them, but they are lacking, in my opinion, they're lacking pigment. Like when I used this shade, I really had to pack it on, and it still was kind of a subtle duochrome shift compared to some of the shadows that are out nowadays are just so pigmented and shifty that I was left kind of like, when I was using these ones. But I'm going to swatch them for you guys anyway. This is that real pretty duochrome shade that I'm kind of obsessed with. Then there's a green, kind of a peach, and a darker color. You can kind of see right there that they're very sheer. Let's swatch them. Oh, that's just not very impressive, is it? I'm sad about it. I was expecting so much from, especially this eyeshadow palette, and that baked jelly texture, which I love, but these definitely left me like, what? I also purchased one of her fantastic multi-use lipsticks with SPF 15, and I got the shade Pink Opal, which was the lightest of, I believe, 5 in the range, and it's still pretty dark. It's a pretty dark rose. The formula, it feels really nice. It doesn't have much of a scent, if anything, a slight lipstick scent, but not a whole ton of scent to it. And it's just kind of a sheer nude rose color, but it is a bit deeper than I had thought it was going to be, and this is the lightest in the range. I like the fact that this has got SPF 15 in it though. So that one is the shade Pink Opal. And then lastly, I had been recommended her flash crayons a few times for the waterline, that they have really good staying power. So I purchased one of the kits, and this is the Midnight kit. There's 5 liners in this one, and then individually I purchased this one called Calm Mood, and it's a green. And these stay pretty good on the waterline, but they still migrate into my inner corners and they start to fade on the outer portion. And what I found was when I went to go touch up that liner, because it had set on my waterline, the portions that were still there would lift up when I would go to try to touch up, and then I had a really hard time getting the product to stick. They're just not the be-all that I was hoping for, but they're still pretty good liners. So this one right here, it's a really pretty green, is called Calm Mood. And what I might try to do with this guy right here is lay down something like a Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon and then go over the top of it with this, because I think that gel crayon will really grab onto this, and then I'll have a nice bright green on the waterline. So that one's Calm Mood. And then these are the 5 liners from the Midnight kit. So this is a Wava Flash, A-U-E-V-A, which is a brown. And then we have got a Crux Flash, which is kind of a slate gray with a bit of navy blue. Is it navy blue? It's kind of a grayish blue. And then there is a Voir Flash, which is a deep kind of forest green teal. And then Ascella Flash, A-S-C-E-L-L-A. This is definitely a gray right there. And then the last one from that kit is Autria Flash. This one is a deep navy blue. Right there. I like the liners, but I'm not in love with them. And I'm saying that with use on the kind of waterline only. They're really creamy and glide on the skin really well, as you can kind of see when I swatched them. So if you're planning on using them on the skin, I think they're not going to budge once they set, and they go on pretty creamy. And then finally, my Real Techniques order from Black Friday came in. This literally took almost 4 weeks, almost a month to get here. I just got these yesterday, and I ordered them Black Friday, however long ago, but I've wanted these forever. They're the powder, I think it's called Powder Blue or Blue Collection from Real Techniques. I think that Real Techniques makes some of the best synthetic affordable brushes out there. I don't have any Real Techniques brushes that have fallen apart, and the ones that I continually use do take a beating, especially when I wash them, and they're still holding up really strong. These ones here just feel super luxe, so I'm so glad I got them. I didn't get the big one because I purchased this guy, because there's like a big blue brush too, but I wanted this one instead. And this one is the 306 brush, kind of from their Galaxy collection. I do like the bottom is flat, so if you set it on a surface, it's not gonna like roll away because it's round. But isn't this awesome? I have another big brush from Real Techniques that I really love too, but that's just cool. And then these are the powder blue ones. This is B01. Oh, they're so soft too. B02, which I kind of used with a little bit of translucent powder to kind of get the shine down. And then B04, which I used today to put a little bit up underneath the brow eyeshadow on. And then this one here is B03, which is kind of would be a really nice buffing brush for foundation, or even a contour bronze type brush. And they're just super pretty. I just really love Real Techniques brushes. I have a ridiculous amount of them. Aren't those pretty? I also pre-ordered the Wayne Goss Holiday Brush from Beautylish. I've seen that it's since sold out, and I'm hoping that it comes back into stock because this is such a pretty brush. It's kind of like a longer fan brush. It reminds me of some of the Chikuhodo brushes that I have. This is kind of one of the newer shapes of brushes that's coming out, and I'm starting to see a lot more brands kind of do a fan like this. It's just super, super soft. What I'm going to use it for is probably a bronze contour or either a blush brush. It'd make a really good like powder brush too, to kind of powder spots on your face. But I just love me some Winningoss brushes, and I had to have this guy. Keeping on the brush train, I did purchase the 2 holiday sets from Chikuhodo. They're also one of my holiday makeup traditions. Is I love to buy the holiday sets from Chikuhodo. They're so pretty. Like, I feel like they never disappoint. I had ordered mine on kind of pre-order from the Visage USA website. It's VISAGEUSA.com. That's kind of Chikuhodo's USA website. And I purchased them on there not knowing whether or not they were going to come to Beautylish, and I always get nervous that they're going to like sell out and then I'm not going to be able to get them. So I bought them on that website, and then I do believe they're still in stock on the Beautylish website, and on there they're cheaper. And I'm like, dang it, because these are not cheap brushes by any means. So the first one is in the green box here, and both these brush sets come with a nice pouch for them. It has Chikuhodo on her. This is the more expensive of the two right there. Let me pull the plastic off. So this one comes with 6 brushes, a lip brush, eyebrow brush, kind of a angled cheek brush, and then you've got a smaller kind of penciled eye brush and a flat, more flat shader. And then the handles on these guys look like this. This is the large powder brush that it came with. These are so unbelievably soft. Like, it's one of those things you would just, it just feels good to use them on the skin. So that is that set. And then the smaller set comes in a kind of pink box, and then a golden kind of pouch. And then inside of here you've got a brow kind of comb right there, a flat shader, and then a mini smudge brush. And then these ones are kind of a lilac with gold, and this comes with kind of a pointy powder brush, which you can use kind of for setting, or you can use it for bronzer, really get into the contours of the cheek. But how pretty are these handles? And then these were just on my doorstep yesterday, and this is a collaboration between Beautylish and Chikuhodo. I had no idea that they were coming out with this collection, and when I first like seen the handles and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh. They just gave me all the feels. I was so excited about these. I just seen that Beautylish sent out an email as well to sign up for first access, which I did too, because I'm contemplating a second set. But Beautylish did send me this one. This one comes in a pouch like this. Now wait till you guys see the handles on these. These are a blue, and they have got Mount Fuji on them. I gotta get the big one so you can really see the pattern. And there's got a slight iridescent silver. Is that not gorgeous? So here's the large powder brush. And again, that handle is just something else. And then you've got kind of a contour brush right there. And a kind of a blending, or you can use it as a flash shader, like, or a packing brush for the eyes. And then a kind of a cheek brush here. I'm so contemplating purchasing a set when they go live on the Beautylish website. It wouldn't be the first time that I've purchased double sets of Chikuhodo holiday sets. Don't tell. Big thank you to Beautylish and their team for sending these over. Again, if you're looking to get your hands wet with some handmade Japanese brushes, this is a great way to start. Then I also got a huge PR box from Charlotte Tilbury, which, not even gonna lie, like when I opened it, it almost brought tears to my eyes, which sounds really ridiculous, but I had purchased Charlotte Tilbury products off of her website when she launched. Was it her website or Selfridges? I can't remember now, but like it was a whole year prior to them being even available in the United States. That's how diehard I was on getting my hands on her products. So I'd done a video on those products that I got long time ago, and I've been loving her stuff ever since. I wear a Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat lip pencil at least 6 times out of the week. Every once in a while I'll grab for a different one, but the majority of the time it's a Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat. And I do have Iconic Nude on my lips today for a lip liner. Anyway, out of those products, I had purchased quite a few of the ones and hauled them and swatched them and stuff. So I'm not going to show those ones because you guys have seen me talk about them before. But she did send over the Superstar Lips collection. So there are 4 more that I didn't already have. So I purchased the Happy Lips and Sexy Lips, which I'm going to swatch those two just so I can compare them against the other 4 shades. You know Mom scored on this one too, right? So this one here is the Sexy Lips. These are the 2 that I purchased originally. And they're a really glossy, more sheer version of lipstick, but they still have a decent amount of color to them. So that one is Sexy Lips. And then the other one I originally purchased is Happy Lips. which is a little bit more of a orange, or I guess a kind of coral. And then I just want to swatch the other ones so that you guys can kind of see them all together. This next one is Wild Lips. More of a kind of a fuchsia. Kind of almost looks like a really easy wearable reddish pink. And then you've got Walk of Shame right here. These actually would make really wearable, like, holiday red lipsticks. And then this next one is Pillow Talk, which I really wanted this shade. I had almost purchased it the other day too. So this one is Pillow Talk. And then the last one in the range is called Confident Lips. And this one's this is the deepest out of the 6. So that one is Confident Lips. It's a burgundy, I guess I would call it. Or kind of a wine red shade. These would make good ones for if you like that staining, like that. It's kind of a trendy thing where it looks like you got a wine stain on the lips. These would be really good for that. And they all have that really nice vanilla scent that's just really pleasing in lipsticks, kind of similar to MAC. So I just want to give Charlotte Tilbury and her team a big thank you for that package. It was legit like it was Christmas Day that day. Again, I've been purchasing her stuff since before it launched in the United States. Last week's video was just going like too long. It was just like over a half hour, and so I decided I would go ahead and throw out the swatches of these in this video. And it's the Lime Crime Diamond Dews. I really, really like these. Sometimes the packaging is a little tricky to kind of get a hold of the little applicator, but these are very comparable to the Stila Glitter and Glows, and you can tighten the cap so hopefully no air gets in them. My Stila Glitter and Glows, a lot of them are drying out, and I feel like for the price tag they're drying out much too quickly. I love to use these as shadow toppers. So on Black Friday there was 25% off the website, and there was a bundle of 10 of these, and so I went ahead and I got that bundle. And I'm going to insert the swatches right here because I did already swatch them all last week for you guys, so hopefully you don't mind. This one here is called Dragon. And I like to use these as toppers over other eyeshadows or like corresponding shadows to the shade that these are. This is the shade Vision. It's like a burgundy with some silver, almost looks like some pink and gold glitters in it. So that one is the shade Vision. This next one is a pretty sky blue, and it's called Tearful. This is so pretty. I wore this the other day. What did I top it over? It just turned out so pretty. So that one is called Tearful. Then we have got the shade Chocolate Diamond. Something was funky on the packaging on this one. I don't know what happened to it, but this is kind of a, it's kind of got a greeny duochrome to it, but it's like a bronzy shade. Oh, so this is the shade, what did I say? Chocolate Diamond right here. Then we have got the shade Paris, which is a pinky purple with gold. I think it shifts almost green though, if I remember. Oh wait, that's a different one. So that is the shade Paris. This next one is called Rose Goals, like G-O-A-L-S, Rose Goals. This next shade is called Starlight. This is so stunning. This one's got more large glitter particles in it. So that is Starlight. Then we have got the shade Aurora. It is a beautiful lavender. I haven't worn this one yet. I need to wear that one like yesterday. It's so pretty. So that one's Aurora. I love this one too. This is the shade Pixie. This might be the one that looks kind of pinky but shifts kind of green. Is it? Yeah, this is the one. It's got like a greeny shift to it. Right there. So that is the shade Pixie. And then we have got the shade Chameleon, which is a burgundy. So this one is Chameleon. So these are the 10 that came in that bundle set that I ordered, and then I also threw in this shade right here that I just had to have. It's called Confetti, and it's like it just has a ton of holographic glitters in there. I just thought it would look pretty over tons of different eyeshadows. Right there. Depending on what you put this one over, I think is going to depend on how the glitter kind of shifts, but it's multi-dimensional. I don't kind of think that they look prettier in real life than what I'm seeing in the viewfinder. Maybe when I'm editing, I'll be like, no, they show up pretty good, but that's the shade Confetti. The sparkle that's on my eyes right now is actually the shade Pixie. You can kind of see it kind of glimmering like that. And then the other two products I got from Lime Crime also during the sale are these unicorn lipsticks. These are OG. If you've been watching YouTube for a while, these were like the jam back in the day. And they're coming back with the same type of fancy unicorn packaging. So I purchased two of these. The shade Birthday Suit is the one that I was wearing in last week's haul video. They're very opaque. They're a little bit more stiff, not quite so slidey or creamy like, and I kind of feel like they're like a demi matte or maybe like a satin finish on the lips, but they're very opaque, and because they're not so creamy, if you will, the longevity of them is really well. Like I didn't have to apply it for, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours, which for me is pretty good on a lipstick. And the other shade that I got is called Not Another Peach, and it's just a really pretty peachy coral color. Right there. So because they're a little bit stiffer formula, they do last a little bit longer on the lips. And they do smell like, lipstick. Then there was like a huge sale on Surratt Beauty on Sephora, and I don't quite understand what's going on with Surratt because Sephora still has a bunch of their products and they're on like their regular pricing, including some of the brushes, which I missed out. I missed out on the brushes. They were 50% off, and Surratt's brushes are extremely expensive, and I wanted to get some, but by the time I found out about that they were all on sale, every single one was sold out. They're back in stock, of course, at regular price, but I wasn't able to get one. I did, however, pick up this guy. It's one of the prismatic lips, and I got the shade Pailettes, P-A-I-L-L-E-T-T-E-S. It's the longer kind of bullet form. This is just a really sheer, sparkly pink. I would almost consider it kind of a balm. So if I use it, I'll just use it kind of on a blank lip for a nice kind of hydration or something, or a nice sparkle to the lips, or either I'll take a lip liner and fill in my full lips and then go over the top of it with this guy right here, because it's very sheer. It almost reminds me of the Dior lip glows. Without the tinting effect, like it's not gonna turn a little bit deeper or stain the skin like the lip glows do. And then I placed an order on the Wet n Wild website. I grabbed a bunch of the Reserve Your Cabanas that I like to use to kind of set my neck, like the sunscreen on my neck, and I purchased a bunch of those prior to me finding out that, yes, Wet n Wild is discontinuing the Reserve Your Cabana. I'm like, what? That's like a cult classic product. You just don't do that. But I heard that they are. And so recently when I've been to some stores, and then also on their website, I can't find it. The stores are sold out of it as well. So I'm happy that I got like 6 of them as backups. I do go through them relatively quickly, but in the meantime, I'm going to have to try to find something to replace it, which is sad. But I also got this guy. It's the MegaGlo Highlighting Platinum Bar, and this is in the shade Winter Bloom. So they originally came out with like a gold bar. This was maybe a year or maybe more ago, and that was really popular. Now they came out with this guy. This has got a pretty strong golden undertone. It's kind of like a gelée, but it's kind of like a gelée powder hybrid in terms of texture is what I'd call it. But it's like a white gold blend. I feel like the more you kind of blend it in, the more gold it turns. But it's really pretty. I actually purchased 2. Next, I've got a couple palettes to swatch for you guys. This first one is the Nars Ignited Eyeshadow Palette. And the packaging is super pretty. Boy, I'm having a hard time getting it open. There are 12 eyeshadows inside of this guy. Does it say on the back how much product is in here? No, it doesn't, and I threw away the box. No, it does. 0.04 ounces per shade. Decent amount of product. Now this palette only has 3 matte eyeshadows in it, which are these 3 on the edge here. This top one almost has a slight satin sheen to it, but these 2 are definitely matte. And then some of these kind of foiled shades over here are really, really stunning. I did find that trying to use this guy in the crease, for me on my light skin tone, it does work to get that depth in the crease, but I can about imagine that on a medium deep skin tone, that is just not going to do it in terms of depth for that area. So I kind of wish that there was a little bit richer, deeper matte brown in here. But let's give a swatch of this guy. I kind of feel like a deeper matte in here would have made it a little bit more universal. So those are the 3 matte shades, so-called matte. That top one is kind of a satin. Some of these shimmers, though, are really stunning. in this row, which is probably my favorite. I do feel like these shiny shades with the sparklies in them, they will work best definitely over a tacky primer. I don't think that they're going to stick too well if you set your primer with a powder. I would go over it. I'll go directly over the primer with them. And there is a bit of fallout with some of those foiled shades because there are particles of glitter in them, but that is the Nars Ignited eyeshadow palette. And then the next palette is from Illamasqua, and I purchased this off of Beauty Bay. They were doing a really big sale. It started even before Black Friday. It took forever, not gonna lie. It took forever to get here, but not as long as the Real Techniques, but it did take a long time. So this is the Illamasqua Elemental Artistry Palette. There are 12 eyeshadows. Each shadow is 0.035 ounces per shade. Anyway, here are the 12 eyeshadows. You have got one shade, which is really odd, and I don't quite understand it, but there's one shade that has like a shimmer, and it's this one up here, and I feel like, why though? I should have just made them all matte, because it's just a kind of just a mid-toned slightly shimmer. It's not overly foiled or glimmery or anything like that. It's just kind of a, it's almost like a satin shimmer, if you will, but all these other shades are matte. I have used this palette, and I feel like the mattes are really nice and pigmented, and they blended really well for me. There was actually another palette from Illamasqua on the site that I wanted. It had sold out before I was able to purchase it, so maybe they'll have another sale soon and I can get it. But I really do like these eyeshadows. Again, all of them are matte except for this shade right here. So, who else misses Illamasqua? Anyone? Anyone? Those are the first four. And then this camel color is super pretty. For some reason, I just don't understand that shade in the palette, but and then these last two. And again, I got this off of Beauty Bay, which sells Illamasqua. If you also miss Illamasqua like me, that's where you can get it. So that is the, what did I say, Elemental Artistry palette from Illamasqua. Also from Beauty Bay in that sale that they were having, I got the Nabla Poison Garden eyeshadow palette. I have got the other two that they came out with, and I really like those ones. This one I like, but I did feel like I had to build up some of the shadows a little bit more than the other two palettes that I have, but I was able to get some really pretty looks out of them. But I kind of feel like I like the other palettes a little bit more, but this one is still pretty. But I remember this one in particular, I had to keep kind of grinding in it to pick up the shadow. It was kind of flaky, this Adoration shade right there. So this one has 15 eyeshadows, and each shadow in here is 0.032 ounces. So let's give you some swatches. This one is the one that I feel like is really flaky. This one's kind of flaky too, but you can kind of see that there. And this guy. I do like this camely yellow color too. The mattes are really nice and richly pigmented. And then these guys. These two are the flaky ones out of the bunch. They're pretty if you can pack them on. Look at that periwinkle blue, or it's kind of like a light royal blue, I guess, but Swatch City going on here. I need to clean my fingers. And then these last ones. right there. So that is the Nabla Poison Garden eyeshadow palette. This is going to be a half-hour video too. I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off right there. Happy holidays to all of you guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.